They stripped me of my robe, my father's love, and then they sold me like I was nothing. But what my brothers didn't know was that God was writing a story they could never stop. My name is Joseph, my father's favorite. I had dreams, visions so real, they felt like destiny whispering my name. I told my brothers what I saw, stars bowing, even them bowing to me. I didn't know dreams could make people hate you. I saw it in their eyes before they spoke. Something dark. That day, I wasn't their brother anymore. I was their problem.
This story will move you. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories coming.
There was once a young man named Joseph, a dreamer, a believer, and a man whose life would take him from the depths of betrayal to the heights of power. Joseph was the beloved son of his father, Jacob. Out of all his children, Joseph was special, deeply loved and favored. His father even gave him a beautiful coat of many colors, a symbol of honor and affection. But sometimes, favor can attract envy. Joseph's brothers saw that their father loved him more, and their hearts grew bitter. Every smile Joseph received felt like an insult to them. And then, the dreams began. One night, Joseph had a dream. In it, he and his brothers were binding sheaves of grain in the field. Suddenly, his sheaf stood upright, while his brothers' sheaves gathered around and bowed down to his. When he shared the dream, his brothers were furious. "Do you mean to rule over us?" they asked. But Joseph didn't stop dreaming. In another dream, the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed down to him. Even his father was troubled by this, though deep down, he wondered what it might mean. Joseph didn't yet understand it, but his dreams were a glimpse into his future. One day, Jacob sent Joseph to check on his brothers, who were tending sheep far from home. As Joseph approached wearing his colorful coat, his brothers saw him from a distance, and in that moment, something dark took hold of them. "Here comes the dreamer," they said. "Let's kill him and see what becomes of his dreams." But one brother, Reuben, intervened. Instead of killing Joseph, they threw him into a deep, empty pit. Joseph cried out, pleading for mercy. But his brothers turned away. Soon a caravan of traders passed by, and instead of rescuing Joseph, they sold him for pieces of silver. Just like that, Joseph was no longer a free man. He was taken far away into Egypt as a slave. Back home, his brothers dipped his coat in blood and showed it to their father. Jacob was devastated. He believed his beloved son was dead. Meanwhile, Joseph's journey had only just begun. In Egypt, Joseph was sold to a powerful official named Potiphar. Despite everything he had been through, Joseph remained faithful, hard-working, and honest. And God was with him. Everything Joseph did prospered. Soon, Potiphar placed him in charge of his entire household. Joseph had gone from slave to trusted leader. But trouble found him again. Potiphar's wife tried to tempt Joseph. Day after day she pressured him, but Joseph refused. "How can I do such a wicked thing and sin against God?" he said. One day she grabbed his garment, but Joseph ran away, leaving it behind. Angry and humiliated, she lied, accusing Joseph of wrongdoing, and once again, Joseph's life took a painful turn. He was thrown into prison. Imagine that. Faithful, yet imprisoned. Righteous, yet punished. But even in the darkness of that prison, Joseph did not lose hope. And once again, God was with him. Joseph found favor with the prison warden and was put in charge of the other prisoners. One night, 2 of Pharaoh's servants, the cupbearer and the baker, had troubling dreams. Joseph noticed their distress. "Do not interpretations belong to God?" he said. "Tell me your dreams." The cupbearer dreamed of a vine with 3 branches that blossomed and produced grapes. He pressed them into Pharaoh's cup. Joseph explained, "In 3 days, Pharaoh will restore you to your position." The baker, encouraged, shared his dream, baskets of bread on his head, with birds eating from them. Joseph's interpretation was different. "In 3 days, Pharaoh will execute you." And just as Joseph said, it happened. Before the cupbearer left, Joseph made one request: "Remember me when you are restored. Tell Pharaoh about me so I can be freed." But the cupbearer forgot him. Days turned into months, months into years. Joseph remained in prison, waiting, trusting, enduring. Then one night, Pharaoh himself had troubling dreams. In one, 7 healthy cows were devoured by 7 thin, sickly cows. In another, 7 full heads of grain were swallowed by 7 thin ones. None of his wise men could explain it. And suddenly, the cupbearer remembered. There is a man in prison who can interpret dreams. Joseph was quickly brought before Pharaoh. Standing before the most powerful man in Egypt, Joseph spoke with confidence. "I cannot do it," he said, "but God will give Pharaoh the answer." Joseph explained the dreams. Joseph was quickly brought before Pharaoh. Standing before the most powerful man in Egypt, Joseph spoke with confidence. "I cannot do it," he said, "but God will give Pharaoh the answer." Joseph explained the dreams. 7 years of abundance were coming, followed by 7 years of severe famine. He advised Pharaoh to store grain during the good years, to prepare for the famine. Pharaoh was amazed. Can we find anyone like this man, in whom is the Spirit of God? And just like that, Joseph's life changed again, from prisoner to ruler. Pharaoh made Joseph second in command over all Egypt. He was given authority, power, and responsibility. And just as the dream foretold, the years of abundance came. Joseph gathered food and stored it wisely. Then the famine began. It spread across lands, affecting many nations, including Joseph's own family. Back in Canaan, Joseph's brothers were starving. They heard there was food in Egypt, and they traveled there to buy grain. When they arrived, they bowed before Joseph, just like in his dream, but they did not recognize him. Joseph recognized them immediately, the brothers who betrayed him, the ones who sold him into slavery, now standing before him, desperate and hungry. Joseph could have taken revenge. He had the power, but instead, he tested them. He wanted to see if their hearts had changed. After a series of events, Joseph could no longer hold back his emotions. He revealed himself. "I am Joseph, your brother, the one you sold into Egypt." They were terrified, but Joseph spoke gently. "Do not be afraid. You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." Those words echo through history. What was meant to destroy him became the path to his destiny. Joseph forgave his brothers. He invited his entire family to come live in Egypt, where they would be safe and cared for. And so, the dreamer who was once thrown into a pit became a savior to his people. His story reminds us, even in betrayal, there is purpose. Even in suffering, there is growth. Even in darkness, there is a path to light. Joseph never stopped believing, and in the end, his dreams came true. Music swells, narrator softly. So whatever pit you may find yourself in today, remember Joseph. Your story is not over. Your dream is still alive. And just like Joseph, your destiny may be closer than you think. If this story touched you, kindly subscribe, share, and comment. Thanks.